Hello, and welcome back to Below the Belt. I'm your host, Arsha Malik, and today's episode is one that brings our series on cervical cancer to a deeply personal and powerful close. If you tuned into episode 1, we explored the facts. We talked about what cervical cancer is, what causes it, and how it can often be prevented. We heard insights from a gynecologist on screenings, vaccines, and symptoms, things that everyone, especially women, should know. But today, we take it deeper. This episode is personal, emotional, and human. Because today, I'll be sharing the true story of a cervical cancer survivor, a family member of mine who went through the fight of her life. Unfortunately, she won't be joining us on air, but she did give me permission to share her story in her words. What she felt, what she faced, and what she learned. This is her voice, her pain, her resilience, and through me, she's letting others in on the reality of what it means to survive cervical cancer. So grab a cup of tea, take a deep breath, and join me for her story. Like so many stories, hers began in the most unassuming way. It was just a routine pap smear. I wasn't expecting anything unusual. That's what she told me, and that line stayed with me because it shows how sneaky and silent cervical cancer can be. A few days after her screening, her doctor called. The results were abnormal. They ran more tests, a biopsy, followed by imaging, and then came the diagnosis. Stage 1 cervical cancer. She told me she didn't even feel sick. She had no pain, no sense that something was seriously wrong. In fact, she was going about her life, working, parenting, being a sister, a friend, a neighbor, unaware that her body was hiding something this serious. Looking back, she did notice some early symptoms, but like so many of us, she dismissed them. She told me there was some bleeding between periods, but she guessed it was due to stress, hormones, and life. She didn't think it was cancer, and honestly, who would? That's why her story is so important, because this cancer wasn't loud. It slowly by slowly creeped up on her. This is your reminder. Listen to your body. If something feels off, speak up before it's too late. When I asked how she reacted when she got the call, she paused. She told me she was in shock. She went numb. She heard the word cancer and her brain just stopped. She told me she cried in the car, then she sat in silence thinking about her kids, about the future, about everything that might not happen. That moment, that silence after the call, stretched into something much deeper. The kind of emotional weight you don't forget. So many cancer survivors describe this moment, the pause before the storm, as the hardest part. Not the treatment, not the side effects, but that initial free fall into fear. Her treatment plan was aggressive, but her doctors were hopeful. She underwent a hysterectomy, removing her cervix and uterus. That alone is a huge emotional and physical surgery. But it didn't just end there. She went through weeks of radiation and several rounds of chemotherapy. She told me it was exhausting, physically, mentally, spiritually. She described the radiation as draining. The chemo brought nausea, weakness, and fatigue that clung to her for days. And beyond the physical toll, there was a quiet emotional weight that never lifted. She told me some days she just felt flat, not even sad. She just felt nothing. And that's something we don't talk about enough. Emotional numbness during treatment. It's not just fear, it's emptiness, burnout, grief before the healing can even begin. But she told me there were a few bright spots. She told me her oncology nurse, Maria, was an angel. Maria explained everything to her. Maria sat with her, and Maria made her feel more than a patient. And then there was her sister, who moved in and became her rock. She told me her sister never let her feel alone, that she made the fear a little easier to bear. Cancer treatment isn't just about medicine. It's about connection, compassion, and the people who show up when everything feels impossible. When I asked her what helped her cope, she said three things: journaling, support groups, and silence. She told me she wrote down everything, her fears, her anger, her small victories. It helped her let go. She told me that being around other survivors, even strangers, helped her feel less isolated. And sometimes she didn't even need advice, just someone there to sit with her in the silence. That hit me hard. Because sometimes we think we need to fix people when they're hurting, but often the best thing we can do is just be there for them. Many people think the story ends when treatment ends, but that's not true. Recovery doesn't mean back to normal automatically. It means learning to live with the scars, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. She shared that she still struggles with fatigue, that certain foods upset her stomach now, that fear still lingers before every follow up appointment. But she told me she laughs harder now. She hugs longer. She doesn't say yes to things that drain her. She doesn't put herself last anymore. Her cancer didn't make her whole, but it made her see life in full color again. She told me the experience changed everything. She no longer ignores small symptoms. She values her body, her voice, her time. She draws clearer boundaries in her relationships, and she lets herself be fully present, even in pain. Cancer taught me how to protect my peace and to fight for my health because no one else will do it for you. That's what she shared with me. Before we ended our talk, I asked her, "What do you wish more people understood about cervical cancer?" She didn't even pause before she said that it can happen to anyone. It's not a lifestyle disease, it's not shameful, and recovery isn't just physical, it's grief. It's healing trauma. It's trying to trust your body again. Also, screening saves lives. The HPV vaccine saves lives. Let me pause here and say this. Cancer doesn't end when the treatment stops. Survivors often face anxiety about recurrence, PTSD from traumatic medical experiences, depression, isolation from people who don't understand what they've been through, and yet mental health support is often an afterthought. We need to do better. We need to offer therapy, support groups, peer mentorships, and just safe places to talk about the pain that lingers. If you've made it this far, thank you. Now I ask you to reflect. Have you had your pap test? Have you talked to your loved ones about the HPV vaccine? Do you know someone who might be quietly suffering post cancer? Don't wait. Don't assume someone else will bring it up. Be the one who starts the conversation. Cancer doesn't care about silence, but awareness fights back. As we wrap this final episode, I want to leave you with this. Cervical cancer is real. It's terrifying, but it's also preventable, survivable, and something we can beat if we talk about it, screen for it, and support those facing it. To the survivor who shared her story with us, thank you. Your voice is a light. Your honesty, your strength, your hope, they will stay with all of us. And to everyone listening, please share this series. Talk to your community. Book that appointment. Ask that question. You might just save a life, maybe even your own. This was Below the Belt. I'm your host, Ursha Malik, and this is the end of our series, but not the end of the conversation. Stay safe, stay strong, and keep speaking up.